Another Eddie Hearn contradiction, as he now says that Joshua versus Wilder is the biggest fight perhaps in British boxing history. Stay tuned.
It could be one of the biggest fights in all-time boxing history. It'd definitely be the biggest fight in British boxing history because we've just had one against Vladimir Klitschko. That was the biggest fight in British boxing history, unquestionably, and the most exciting. This one will eclipse that. We don't rule out a fight in America at some point as well. We know the money over there. So it's going to be very, very interesting. But I do believe that we're only scratching the surface of how big Wilder Joshua could be.
Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chat channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Now, new media is on the case, and I told you it was going to be a surgical summer. It's also going to be a cold winter. We will not let up. We will keep seeking out the truth. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Right? In boxing. Now, you guys heard the clip at the beginning, and, let's just jump into it. It's not going to be a long video. Eddie Hearn says, and I quote, he said Tyson Fury has not been in an entertaining fight. Then he goes on to say, quote, Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua is the biggest fight in world boxing history, and stylistically, it's the most exciting matchup you can possibly make in boxing. So, once again, this simple statement and the title of this Sky Sports interview clearly indicates yet another contradiction from Team Joshua. Here's why. Now, Eddie Hearn was saying that all of a sudden, now he's saying this could be one of the biggest fights ever, right? One of the biggest fights in British history because they had Joshua versus Klitschko, and now this fight could eclipse it. But what happened to all the statements about Deontay Wilder needs to fight Dillian Whyte? Where did that go? Because he still hasn't fought Dillian Whyte, right? So why is it all of a sudden going to be the quote-unquote biggest fight, right? I thought he had to raise his UK profile by fighting another UK fighter not named Joshua to first, season and prep the UK audience for Deontay Wilder's arrival, right? They also talked about turning down the $50 million. Like, there's so many ways you can also break this down. They talked about 50 million, and is the $50 million real, right? And in addition to saying it's one of the biggest fights in British boxing history or boxing history, he says, quote, we do not rule out a fight in America at some point as well. We know that the money is over there. Once again, another inconsistency. First, you said, I need proof of funds. Show me that the 50 million is real. How do we know the 50 million is real? How do we know Al Heyman and the investors? Where's the money coming from? But now he's saying, we don't rule out a fight in America at some point as well. We know that the money is over there. So he single-handedly in a 15-second speech has contradicted himself several times. Now they're saying we know that the money is over there, right? But what happened to the proof of funds, and how do we know the money is real? And now they're saying they're open to fight in America, but they turn down 50 million guaranteed plus 50% back end money plus a rematch, whatever you would stand to gain. This is just, at this point, like I said, it's child abuse. Eddie Hearn also said that Wilder Joshua could be one of the biggest fights in all-time boxing history. It will definitely be the biggest fight in British boxing history because we just had one with Vladimir Klitschko that was the biggest fight in British boxing history, unquestionably, and the most exciting. This one will eclipse that. So, another contradiction. Eddie Hearn was on his verified Twitter, and someone mentioned a comment to him, and he said something to the effect of, this fight will only do 30 to 40 million and it's not gonna, you know, it's not gonna do 100 million like they're asking, like they're stating, you know. So where are they getting this number from? And Anthony Joshua has done interviews where he questioned. He's like, oh, they're saying it's $100 million fight. So now with that statement, you just said it's going to be the biggest fight in British boxing history, unquestionably, and the most exciting. And it's going to eclipse Klitschko, which we know is a career high payday for Anthony Joshua, and surpass Carl Froch versus George Groves. So I thought this fight was nowhere near $100 million fight. Once again, Team Joshua, this is why nobody believes them. This is why nobody believes that Deontay Wilder is the one who stagnated this fight from happening next. You know, they just, that's like multiple contradictions in 15 seconds, you know, or whatever length of time it was, right? Now all of a sudden it's back to being the biggest fight in British boxing history. But Eddie Hearn was the one saying, and Anthony Joshua, oh, how do we know it's $100 million fight? There's no one saying that. So again, why does Wilder deserve a flat rate if you're now telling the public that it's going to be the most exciting, it's going to eclipse Klitschko fight, and it's going to be the biggest fight in British boxing history, and it might be one of the biggest fights in all-time boxing history? So, you know, this is an Eminem kill shot where Eddie Hearn has deaded all of his past statements in this one body of work, in this one post-fight, post-Povetkin win statement. You know, now all of a sudden it could be an all-time boxing great. It's going to surpass Klitschko. It's going to be the biggest fight in British boxing history. Yet you believe it was fair to give Deontay Wilder a flat rate of 12.5 million, right? Even though Klitschko, he didn't get a flat rate of no 12.5 million. You believe your improved offer of $15 million was adequate for a fight that you are now deeming as the biggest fight in British boxing history. Like, you know, at this point, like I said, it's unbelievable that people will still try to justify this. But new media, we're just going to keep exposing what's out there. And, you know, it's like a dog that shits on the carpet. You know, you want to let the dog know, so you put the dog's nose by the piss stain in the carpet or the shit stain, so they know, no, bad, you know. So that's what we're going to do with new media. Every time that these different promoters, trainers, fighters and stuff create these narratives that we know to not be the case, and then they come back a week later, a month later, and then they switch it, then we'll be right there to uncover the real truth. So, you know, this is just yet another example of the reason the Wilder-Joshua fight didn't happen in 2018. You know, now all of a sudden it's back to one of the biggest fights. And keep in mind, Wilder still hasn't fought Tyson Fury. So you can't say all of a sudden it's the biggest fight now because of Tyson Fury, because he still hasn't even fought him. And according to Eddie Hearn, you guys are so trapped. According to Eddie Hearn, he says he doesn't believe the fight with Fury is going to happen anyway. So you can't fall back and say, oh, he's saying that because he's saying after Wilder beats Fury, it's going to be the biggest fight. Because one, like I said, he hasn't fought Tyson Fury yet. And two, Eddie Hearn already shot himself in the foot because he said he don't believe Wilder Fury will happen. He says something's going to happen. It's boxing. Fury's going to pull out with the injury. So there's, again, no justification, and new media is on top of it. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.